Good evening, all. It is my privilege to introduce today's moderator, Ms. Shubhasree Madhavan. Ms. Shubhasree has an impressive background with 12 years of experience as a TGT science teacher. She has undergone extensive training in STEM education, including 60 hours conducted by IIT Gandhinagar, and is certified in STEM education for senior secondary students. Her contributions include reviewing and creating video lesson plans for IISER and online portals, as well as participating in the Water Classroom project for middle school students with the Living Water Museum, IISER. Additionally, she has been part of the Knowledge Exchange program between the University of Glasgow and Indian teachers on sustainable development and has been recognized as an innovation champion through the IRIS program at IISER, Pune. Her dedication to advancing STEM education and sustainable development is truly commendable. Hearty welcome, Ms. Shubhasree. Please proceed. We wish you all the best.
Thank you for the warm and gracious introduction, sir. Good evening, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a sincere and cheerful welcome to all the educators and participants on behalf of Extra Mile Education and Training. Your presence this evening is a testament to our unwavering dedication to build a future-ready generation of leaders. Extra Mile stands as a beacon of excellence in professional development, founded under the visionary leadership of Dr. Abdul Salam Sir, and a proud initiative of Bharat Transformers and Academic Group, with a robust network of expert traders. Extra Mile delivers customized training programs both online and offline across the length and breadth of our nation. I'm truly honored to serve as your moderator for today's session, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Salam Sir and the entire Extra Mile team for this opportunity. To foster a dynamic learning environment that encourages active participation, critical thinking, and student development, it is important to create a holistic learning experience that integrates knowledge acquisition with emotional, social, and value-based development. So, in today's session, we'll delve into understanding the approach to effective classroom instruction called Panchapadi that guides teachers in effective lesson planning. Before we begin, a few important announcements. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to post them in the chat box. For more interactive experience, you may also raise your virtual hand. Once your name is called, you can unmute yourself to ask your question. To receive your certificate of participation, kindly complete the feedback form that will be shared with you at the end of the session. We encourage you to stay with us until the conclusion. Before we proceed with the session, it is my privilege to introduce the key figures behind BTAG, beginning with the visionary himself, Dr. Abdul Salam Sir, a distinguished CBSE master trainer and resource person. Dr. Salam Sir has made remarkable contributions to the field of education. He serves as an assessor for the National Accreditation Board for Education and Training under the Government of India and is the founder and CEO of Extra Mile Education and Training and Bharat Transformers Academic Group. On behalf of all of us gathered here today, I warmly welcome Dr. Salam Sir to address the audience. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shubham ma'am, and respected resource person, Mr. Ranjit Rajan, Biju sir, Biju S. Pillai, and all the enthusiastic participants, heads, teachers, and all belonging to the changing education scenario. Hearty welcome to Extra Mile Education Training. Thank you for your continued support and cooperation. We have been traveling together for long, and Mr. Ranjit Rajan has served this platform for many a time, and his contribution is so valuable that we get a lot of information with regards to the changing scenario in the background of national education policy. So today, when the teachers ask for lesson plan and lesson plan formats and all, there is no particular format anyone has given. It is up to the school and to the teacher, but based on the NCF recommendations, you can go ahead. So we will be talking about the five-step lesson plan today. I am also very eager to know more about it from Mr. Ranjit Rajan. Let's listen to him quickly go over to Mr. Ranjit Rajan's presentation. Thank you so much. Sit back and enjoy the session. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Over to Shubha ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Shubha ma'am, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words and generous acknowledgement. We are equally honored to be joined by another stalwart in the field of education, Mr. Biju Pillai, sir, a veteran educator and the esteemed principal of Sri Chitra Public School, Trivandrum. It's truly a privilege to have you with us, sir. I now invite you to share your reflections with our participants.
Thank you, Shubhasri Madhavan ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Most respected Director, Resource Person Ranjit Rajan sir, and all other dignitaries from different corners of the country and abroad. Hearty welcome to all. So this is our first month of 2025-26, and all the teachers are very eagerly, as told, many different schools are having many different types of lesson plan writing. Some are feeling very difficult, some are feeling very easy. Some teachers are curious enough to have such, do we need all these things? So let us have a uniformity. We are lucky to have a master trainer and a city coordinator. So let us take the advantage and have a wonderful evening. Thank you, ma'am. Let's listen to Ranjit sir.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful and insightful address. Dear educators, let's move on to today's highlight. I'm delighted to introduce our resource person for today's training, Mr. Ranjit Rajan, sir. Ranjit Rajan, sir, is serving as the principal at Sri Saraswati Vidya Mandir, Kottayam. He is a leading expert in the field of education and administration and has a wealth of experience in the above areas. He is serving as a CBSE training coordinator, Kottayam, and also the CBSE resource person. Bharatiya Vidyaniketan CBSE wing deputy coordinator, state team member, city coordinator for KVS, NVS seated Arapura and Kottayam. Patron Central Sahodaya Conclave, General Secretary, Kottayam, Coordinator District Level Examination Recommendation Committee, CBSE Observer for AISSC, Center Superintendent and Observer for NEET Examination by NTA, CS for CUET Examination by NTA, CS and Observer for CBSE Board Examination, and has also rendered his service as being the former Joint Secretary, Sahodaya Kottayam, Coordinator, National Institute of Open Schooling, Flying Squad member for CBSE and NIOS, former CBSE City Coordinator, former Principal at MES Public School, Farmers Public School, former Principal, Labour India Public School, former Academic Director and Administrator of Gayatri Central School, Pala, Kottayam, CBSE Inspection Committee and Review Committee member, City Coordinator, National Achievement Survey, Kottayam, and the list goes on. Sir, we are absolutely blessed to have you with us today. On behalf of everyone here, a warm and respectful welcome. We now invite you to take us forward with your insights. Over to you, Ranjit, sir.
Thank you, Subhasri ma'am, and thank you, Team Extra Mile. It's my proud privilege to be again here in the platform. Extra Mile is my family, all as always, because it's an educator's family. When we are discussing about the Panchapadi, many confusions are there because in NEP 2020, first time that word used as Panchadi. It's a typographical error actually. Panchadi is not correct. First of all, dear educators, if any textbook authors or anyone highlighted that term as Panchadi, tell them it's not Panchadi and tell them clearly it's Panchapadi. 5 steps of learning. Panchapadi, it's a Sanskrit word. So we are today we are going to discuss about the Panchapadi lesson plan and how it's applicable in our pedagogical strategy. When we are speaking about the 5-step pedagogical approach, Panchapadi is the central of National Curricular Framework NCF, SC, and FS. It emphasizes a structured, holistic learning experience. And Shubhaman said in the initial, it's the knowledge transmission of emotional, social, and value-based development. In a one word, she explained what is Panchapadi in her introduction. So before we are going to discuss about the Panchapadi suggested by National Curricular Framework, School Education and Foundation stage, we can discuss about the components of lesson plan suggested by CBSE. Components of the lesson plan suggested by CBSE. I think I'll start with my presentation. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Thank you. Lesson plan components suggested by CBSE. The following components are suggested by CBSE. First one is specific learning outcomes. The second one is pedagogical strategies. And the third one is activities, experiments, and hands-on learning. Fourth one, interdisciplinary linkages and infusion, life skills, values, gender sensitivity, etc. Resources, including ICT, feedback and remedial teaching plan, inclusive practices. These are the components suggested by CBSE for a particular lesson plan. Now a question is raised. CBSE issued any particular circular for lesson plan? No. Then where CBSE suggested these components of lesson plan? The initial pages of curriculum document. The initial pages of curriculum document of secondary school, the initial pages of curriculum document of senior secondary school, CBSE very clearly suggested that in CBSE schools, the teachers are supposed to write the lesson plan, kindly include these components. The specific learning outcomes. The learning outcome document is already published by NCERT and the CBSE also. The pedagogical strategies, the teaching methodologies, and activities and experiments, hands-on learning techniques included in the lesson plan. These are the suggested components for the CBSE lesson plan. So now we can move to what NCF is saying about the Panchapadi. What do you mean by Panchapadi? Panchapadi is a 5 steps of learning. The first one is Aditi. Aditi means knowledge. And the second one is Bodh. It means, in English term, Sanskrit Bodh means understanding. And third one is Abhyas, that means practice. And fourth one is Prayog, means application. And fifth one is Prasar, expansion. So Panchapadi means, Panchapadi technique or 5 steps are, these are the 5 steps. The Aditi, Bodh, Abhyas, Prayog and Prasar. In English, we can say that knowledge, understanding, practice, application, expansion. We can go deeply. What do you mean by each 10? The first one is Aditi. Aditi means development of knowledge, curiosity development, testing of previous knowledge, connecting to present topic. For this, an educator or the teacher can use songs as a tool, stories as a tool, pictures, questions are the tools. Mind mapping or concept mapping is the another Aditi technique. So what NCF says about Aditi? As first step, the teacher introduces a new concept or topic by establishing a connection with the child's prior knowledge Children gather relevant information regarding the new topic with the help of the teacher by asking questions, exploring and experimenting with ideas and materials. What do you mean by Aditi? The explanation given by the NCFSC 2023. The teacher introduces a new concept of topic by establishing a connection with the child's prior knowledge. We already seen that Aditi means development of knowledge, curiosity development, testing of previous knowledge, connecting with to present topic. The tools are songs, stories, pictures, questions, even meditations. Some yoga meditation techniques are also the tools for Aditi, or mind mapping or concept mapping. I hope the Aditi concept is clear. When we are moving to the second one is both. What do you mean by both? The second area, the both or the conceptual understanding, that is the key for every teaching learning process. When it is 45 minutes, 40 minutes class or 45 minutes class or 1 hour class, the teacher given more emphasis to conceptual understanding. So this area is very much important. The first one is Aditi, the second is both. Both means development of understanding, process of understanding, providing opportunities for the conceptual understanding. Clear? And engagement to learners, effort to make students understand. Sometimes misunderstanding take places. The techniques are memorize, repetition, questionings are the tool for both. So, in NCFSC, conceptual understanding or both explaining, children try to understand core concept through play, inquiry, experiments, discussion or reading. In the second step, the teacher observes the process and guides the children. The teaching plan has the list of concepts to be learned by the children. The suggestion by NCF. Now there is no chapter or portions. Only concepts are there. The role of a teacher is to identify the concept from each chapter or each portions. Then the teacher is trying to use maximum student engagement activities to teach the concept. So that's why the Panchapadi connected to mind, soul, body. The Panchapadi connected to mind, soul, body technique. Previously, in our teaching learning process, only the rote memorizations are there. In rote memorization, the mind, soul, body not involved. Or 5 sense organs not involved. Why student is simply understanding the film screenplay or story? Because it's an audiovisual format. The 5 sense organs enrichment happen when the student is watching the movie or film. That's why a good teacher should be a demonstrative one. A good teacher should be a demonstrative teacher. Dear educators, I request all our educators should be a demonstrative teacher, not an ordinary teacher. That's why NDP and NCF given maximum emphasis of the pedagogical changes. All these policies, key suggestion is pedagogical changes, teaching methodological changes. This connection with the mind, soul, body. The connection with the 5 sense organs, because learning happens through sense organs only. That's why NCF strongly suggested Panchapadi. The second area, both the conceptual understanding area, teachers given maximum importance. It should be play-based, it should be inquiry-based, it should be experiments-based, and children-centric, child-centric discussion or reading different activities. Hope you understand what you mean by both. We can move to the third step, Abhyas. The Abhyas, development of a skill, practical work, homework, classwork, maybe a group or pair, individual activity or classwork, mapping skill, drawing skill. For language, in languages, LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, writing. For mathematics or economics, tabulation or analysis of data. The Abhyas part, the third one, Abhyas part included development of skill, practical work, homework, classwork to reinforce the concept learned. The practice section. Abhyas means the practice section. What NCF-SC is saying about the Abhyas? NCF-SC is saying that practice, the third step, the third step is about practice to strengthen understanding and skills through a range of different activities. Teachers can organize group work or individual works or project to reinforce conceptual understanding, attainment of competencies. The first one is Aditi, the second one is Bodh, and the third one is Abhyas. Now, the fourth one, Prayog. So, what do you mean by Prayog? Prayog means application of knowledge, experiential learning, application to real life or daily life, owning the content. For languages, games such as Andashari, dance, drama, role play. Science and mathematics, model making, exhibition, charts. For social science, collection of coins, mock parliament, 3D models, survey and projects. These tools or these things are included in the fourth stage prayer. So NCF-SC suggested that the fourth step is about applying the understanding in the child's everyday life. This accomplished through various activities and small projects. When we are conducting youth festival, when we are conducting annual day, it's a prayer. When we are conducting school exhibition or Sahodaya level exhibition or adult tinkering lab projects, ATL innovation marathon, everything includes this prayer. And the CBSE suggested the subject enrichment activities, Ariphat Ganit, Heritage in the Quiz, Reading Challenge, different subject enrichment activities suggested by CBSE included this section, the fourth steps. The final one, Prasar. Prasar means development of attitude, self-study, go beyond text, searching for additional information, collecting materials from various sources, and expansion of the content, sharing to others, presentation in classrooms. The term Prasar means expansion of the content, sharing to others, peer teaching, presentation in classroom. So, now, spreading the acquired knowledge through conversation with the friends, telling each other, singing new songs, reading new books together, and playing a new game for each and every new topic learned. Sharing knowledge strengthens our neural pathways. Incomplete if we don't teach what we have learned. Teaching makes learning clear and long-lasting. NCP is saying that. So peer teaching is an important. That's why HBC peer suggestions are there. for a rubrics, including peers' role as an important one. So peer teaching is a suggested learning activity by NCF. Now we can think about how it applicable to the actual classroom situation. So you can see that a lesson plan model, as Salam sir suggested, that there is no specific lesson plan format suggested. But I said that CBSE suggested some components. Initially, I suggested that the components suggested by CBSE. And as you know that when you are talking about the lesson plan, the authority is National Teachers Council. So National Teachers Council suggested this year, it's a 2-year lesson plan. Now, the latest model of lesson plan is a 2-column lesson plan. 2-column lesson plan is the suggestion by National Teachers Council. Earlier, we are using 4-column lesson plans. Now, National Teachers Council is suggesting that 2-column lesson plan for all educational institutions. Now I am simply showing a format. It's not a TikTok, or you cannot blame that that part is not included, this part is not included. It's for only a suggestion format. So I taken as the class 9 English lesson plan. For example, the topic is My Childhood by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. It's a prose. We mentioned the subject, required period, class, and time of period, everything initially mentioned. Then learning objective. The second thing important is learning outcome. The classroom process, that is pedagogical strategies. And the third one is TLM. Learning objective, learning outcome, classroom process, teaching learning material. These are the fixed formats. Then we are including Panchapadi to our lesson plan. The first one, knowledge. We can use the Aditi, knowledge, meditation as a tool or technique. Connected to previous knowledge is the important point. Connecting to the previous knowledge. So, listening, looking, observing and feeling through sensory organs. Again, the term sensory organs, the 5 sensory organs. Because learning happens through sense organs. So, mind, soul, body. The teacher is grasping the attention of the learner to Aditi, the Panchapadi first technique. Storytelling as a tool, song as a tool, meditation, yoga, even physical education, health and physical education, mass PT, some PT exercises that teacher can use. Now, the second one, the conceptual understanding. When we are discussing how this Panchapadi technique integrating to our lesson plan, these are the tools. Understanding the core concept. For introduction, we can dedicate 5 minutes. For understanding the core concept, it depends, maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Maybe one period is not enough for explaining one core concept. It needs maybe 2 periods or 3 periods, but the procedure is Panchapadi. Every second step is known as, in English, it's understanding, and in Sanskrit, both. The second step is both. It means understanding the core concept. And the third one is, in Panchapadi technique, practice. Classroom practices, outside practices, aim to reinforcement, repetition, retention. application. Suggestions for encouraging students. Suggestion for encouraging students for convention of core. The last one, expansion of the knowledge acquired. Undertaking different methods of self-study for extension of knowledge. Going for preventions for spreading the knowledge acquired. It means Samaj Sevan, or what we are giving back to the nation. The expansion, the final one. If you learn something, what you given back to the nation? It includes the session. Hope you understand the core idea. If you are clear about the core idea, we can move to how the reinforcement happen. Home assessment and homework. Reinforcement of classroom learning, it should be regular and meaningful. But NCF and NEP suggested that up to class 2, there is no homework. Keep that point in your mind. In foundation stage, only formative assessment. Assessment and feedback. Self-interpretation of the teacher regarding the classroom transaction and the learning outcomes. Here it comes the 3 techniques: the teaching, reteaching, and remedial teaching. The assessment, once it is the activity or the Panchapadi method, core conceptual explanation, the lecture, teacher-led lecturing methodology. Teacher explained a concept. Then the second step is assessment. For assessment, teacher is supposed to prepare the assessment questions. Then assessment rubrics. After assessment, teachers should get a feedback. The suggested activity or suggested teaching methodology is convinced by all my students. If not, teacher is going to take the second procedure, that is reteach. Again, the same technique. Then teacher should understand that few students are not understand. So remedial teaching. The term remedial teaching, when we are talking to the educators, they are thinking that after the examination, they are conducting the remedial teaching process. No, I suggested during the class, for explaining a particular concept, a teacher is supposed to use these 3 techniques: teaching, reteaching, and remedial teaching after assessing students. These are the core idea of the Panchapadi. Now, you can ask your doubts. It's more than explaining the theory. We can use the interactive session as always suggested by Salam sir. Salam sir, am I correct?
Yes, sir. So if you can show a few, samples of other subjects.
Sir, if necessary, I can do because many samples are there already suggested by Parag. The procedure, the sample is.
Yeah, audience, the floor is actually open for discussion. If you have any queries, you may please raise your virtual
Yeah,
hand.
sure. Meanwhile,
Sir.
I'll
Yeah.
show
Sir,
the
excuse
different.
me. Sir, we need, we need to show them some samples integrated with this Panchapadi.
Sure, sir. Meanwhile, the questions are they can ask. I'll show it.
Questions, and they can be prepared with the questions. So
Yes.
yeah, so
Okay,
you can
fine.
show them some samples.
Sure.
We want to know how it is, implemented in classrooms.
Sure.
Integration of Panchapadi. How practically it is happening. Meanwhile, Shubha ma'am, you can note
Yes,
down
sir.
the questions.
Yeah. Yes, sir, I'm doing so.
Yeah. Salam, sir. I can, Shubha ma'am, you can see my screen, no?
No, sir.
No?
No.
Okay, fine.
Kindly explain the difference between learning objective and learning outcome.
Okay, fine, sure.
Okay.
Please note the question, sir.
Yeah. Learning objective is what you are intending to teach. Learning
Yes.
outcome is what the students are demonstrating through your teaching, what knowledge they are demonstrating, their behavioral outcome changes through your lessons, the product, right? Respected sir, kindly give sample LP of grammar. Any one or two subjects we will be able to show you, so that you can integrate. You can also, incorporate with them. How do we integrate AI tools in Panchapadi lesson plan? That we have to see AI tools in Panchapadi lesson plan, that we have to see how it will work. I don't think AI knows this Panchapadi format unless and until you feed it. Well, screen is coming up, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Sir, I think in previous session also we already explained this. As you know, as we know that now it's foundation stage and school stage. The learning standard suggested by NCF is in foundation stage, learning standard is learning domain, and in the school stage, learning standard is learning subject. The sample shown is the example of a language, R1, mother tongue. It's Malayalam or Tamil is shown is in our screen is Tamil one. So first teacher's responsibility is to mapping curricular goals, mapping the CG from NCF, and the second one mapping the competencies. We already discussed
Sir,
that.
can you enlarge it, the screen?
Sure, sir. Sure. Okay. First one mapping curricular goals, and the second one mapping competencies, then activity. This activity, the Panchapadi method. And here it is, time is very clearly divided. The introduction, conceptual understanding, practice, expansion, everything is there. And mapping the curricular goal and mapping the competency and mapping the learning outcome also important. Here in the center, the mapping is learning outcome also important. Again, after the class, after the teaching learning process, teacher is supposed to prepare the assessment rubric based on assessment questions. Here it is, assessment rubrics is clearly based on the HPC suggested three abilities: awareness, sensitivity, and creativity. And HBC suggested three level of proficiency, that is beginner, proficient, and advanced. So this is the sample one for R1. R1, it means mother tongue. Here it is in Panchapadi teaching learning process. It clearly mentioned that it is integrating with the theater and integrating with the toy based. After the assessment, teacher is supposed to take the feedback. Teachers feedback. Then teacher is again do the reteaching or remedial teaching. These are the CGs included in the National Curriculum Framework. I'll show the another subject that is grade for English. Here it is. First one is mapping curricular goal, and the second one is mapping competencies, and the third one is mapping learning outcome. Again, Panchapadi method of activities, teaching learning process suggested here, integrating with the toy-based pedagogy, integration with the art, then again assessment rubrics and teachers feedback. So for mathematics, same. Mapping curricular goals, mapping competencies, mapping learning outcome. It integrating with the mathematics is here it is teacher is integrating maths with the R1 and R2 and integrating with the world around us. Assessment rubrics, teachers feedback. The world around us, same, similar. Mapping curricular goals, competencies, learning outcome. This teaching learning process, the Panchapadi method comes here. The teaching learning process. That individual teacher can only suggest that which teaching methodology is supposed to use in the classroom. We cannot suggest that this is pakka or this is not wrong. That up to the class, up to the student's ability, up to the teacher's imagination, the teacher can decide the teaching methodology. Only the technique we are supposed to use is first one is introduction, second one is conceptual understanding, and the third one is practice. Likewise. Salam, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
it makes sense, sir. It makes sense. Can we go back to the slides
Sure, sure.
for a reinforcement?
Sure, sure.
Thank you.
sir,
This
we are not able to see the slides.
No, wait.
Okay. Okay.
can this method be
I-
used with the students who have special needs or learning differences? What adaptations are recommended? This method is for everyone. The sir has already said for remediation. So similarly, you can customize, personalize the teaching for the special needs children.
So there's also one question. How to what strategies can I use to ensure student engagement during Manan, step for quiet or reluctant learners? That means how this lesson plan holds good for these type of students,
Already
especially
answered,
those.
ma'am. Again, we
It's
will
already
come back.
already answered, sir.
Already answered.
It's
Again,
play
we will
based.
take the
The
question.
teaching strategy and teaching technique always up to the particular teacher. We cannot say that this methodology is good and this methodology is a wonderful one. Because every class is a different one. We cannot compare 3A to 3B. We cannot compare 3A and 3B in a particular school itself because the learning level is different. So the teaching methodology, the strategy is also different. It's always teacher's responsibility to identify which methodology is best for my student. That is the role of a teacher.
Correct. Thank you, sir. And one of the audience is asking for a lesson plan based on one particular lesson, if you have and if you can share.
One particular lesson. No, I
Any
am
one
not
particular
prepared.
lesson.
No, I am
Okay.
not prepared
The
any
sample.
particular. I only format I prepared. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the slides. So can we start from the beginning? A quick review we can have.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yes,
So
lesson
these
plan.
we already discussion started with the suggested components from the CBSE side. CBSE lesson plan. In the initial pages of curriculum document, CBSE is already suggested some components included in our lesson plan. That's our specific learning outcomes, pedagogical strategies, activities and experiments, hands-on learning, interdisciplinary linkage and infusion life skills, values, gender sensitivity, etc. Resources, including ICT. Someone is asked where we are supposed to include AI, including ICT as a resources. But artificial intelligence or AI tools cannot prepare a Panchapadi lesson plan. Yes, because we are supposed to give information prior to the system. Then only the machine can prepare a lesson plan. So better teachers should prepare. That is good for students. Don't depend the artificial intelligence or AI tool for preparing lesson plan. But
All right.
as a tool.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, yeah, how can we map so the Panchapadi, the five ingredients to this format? This format or the components suggested by CBSE. How will you map this Panchapadi format digitized?
That I already explained, sir, in my
No,
slides.
no, same slide, sir. Same slide.
Ah,
So this
uh,
being the format we follow, not this one. Same.
last, no, sir. Last area, I clearly, yeah. This is a sample lesson plan or unit plan. We mapped the chapter name. We
Yeah,
mapped the
this is the
class and
beginning.
period
Okay.
and 40 minutes. Then again, the learning objectives and learning outcomes, the pedagogical strategy, TLM. These components already included in the CBC suggestion also.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay?
Then only comes Panchapadi,
Then only
right?
comes the Panchapadi technique.
So can we go back to the first slide?
Sure.
So here, so we have learning outcomes, pedagogical strategies, So these are the, ingredients or the components of a lesson plan we usually follow. So how are we mapping these Panchapadi, elements here? That is the question.
Sir, Panchapadi is the learning technique. That is not related to the learning outcome or not related to the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
curricular
I
course.
understood. That is the teaching process.
Panchapadi is
Teaching
the
process.
pedagogical strategy. Panchapadi is the pedagogical strategy. Is the procedure. The procedure a teacher supposed to do. The suggested procedure from NCF. A teacher supposed to do in the classroom.
See, I understand, but the participants will have this type of questions. That's why I'm, exploring.
I know. For the participants only you are asking, I
Yeah.
know.
So we have to explore, right? So
Okay.
yes, we can take up the questions, ma'am.
Yeah. So,
Further
yeah,
questions.
yeah. So, elements for imparting a topic. We've got a question, ma'am. Can you please elaborate of what you want to ask? Elements of imparting a.
No, I can understand. I'll explain. Shubha
Okay.
ma'am. It means, ma'am, I already said that there is no portion and topic. The teacher's first responsibility is to map the concept. You are mapping a concept. For example, concept from the physics, light. We are going to teach light. That is our core concept. We are using the Panchapati method for teaching lights. So the first one is introduction. The first one is introduction. That is Aditi or knowledge in Sanskrit. So what it means, it connecting with the previous knowledge. You can show experiments but with your experiment tools. Mirror is the experiment tool for teaching light. Am I correct? Every physics teacher is using a mirror as a tool. So bring that TLM, teaching learning material to the classroom, or take the students to the lab, physics lab, then explain some experiments or showing some experiments to them. Then they will get a prior knowledge, or they will get a introduction, or they will get a ice breaking session. In a simply, Panchapadi first technique, Aditi means ice breaking. Now clear? I used a simple term, ice breaking. For that, we are using storytelling as a tool, that meditation as a tool. It means connecting to the previous knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now you are mapping it. Very good. Go ahead, please.
Connecting to the previous knowledge. Sir, you are forced to explain this thing, because I am trying to explain all these things to the educators. I expect our educators have a certain level. That's why.
No. All are not quick learners, sir. Like me.
Okay,
I'm
fine,
not a
fine,
quick
fine. No
learner.
issue, no issue, no
I'm not
issue.
a quick
I am
learner.
here for you at any level. I can explain. So, so mapping that idea, or connecting to the previous knowledge, using which teaching methodology for connecting the previous knowledge is depending the teacher. The Panchapadi is suggested that the technique only. The first one is introduction or aditi or knowledge. It means connecting to the previous knowledge. The tool which is applicable to explain or connecting to the prior knowledge is depends upon the teacher. We cannot say a particular tool. It depends upon the concept also. So teacher should be able to identify better methodology to connect the previous knowledge. Clear? Later, the second part, understanding or conceptual understanding. The conceptual understanding, teacher is supposed to use the lecture method as a technique, or show again experiments or hands-on activities. That is teacher-led. The third one, abhyas, the practice type, bring the students to the lab and let them do it with the concave lens and convex lens, some activities to reinforce the conceptual understanding or conceptual idea. And again, prayo, that is assessment, homework, or simple formative test. And prasad, they are learned the light concept. They are showing something in the science exhibition with the help of the core idea. They are exhibiting something, showing the light theory. That is expansion or prasad. Salam sir, are you okay? No?
I am always okay, sir. Thank you.
No.
Yeah, it's better, sir. It's better. Because, Panchapadi, it's Sanskrit
It's a
actually.
confusing one, a new term.
Yes.
And even initially, it's a typographical, it mentioned the Panchadi. Still, when we are Google it, the Panchadi technique and many misconceptual ideas are there. So, we are reinforcing the concept. No issue, sir.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, one of the participants, they wanted to know about the Panchapadi lesson plan for science. I think now we can connect. Thank you so much.
I didn't see the question, but I just
Yeah,
explained
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm very poor in science also. I'm an art
No,
student.
no. At least we got, I think all of us got a vague idea of how we have to go about it.
Fine.
Yeah. Salam, sir.
Yeah, you can take up questions. They can
Yeah.
raise their hands.
Yeah.
And
Do we have more questions from the audience? Please do raise your hands if you have any queries so that we can discuss. Or you can type your questions on the chat box.
there is a question, or thank you so much for patiently answering my questions. Your insights or implementing Panchadi method were very were truly enlightening and practical. I appreciate the way you connected pedagogy with a real classroom. Who is it? Ilakia, right?
Yeah.
It's a feedback, sir, for you. Looking forward
Thank
to
you, thank you,
trying the
thank you, thank you.
strategies in my teaching journey.
Thank
Miss
you.
Ilakia, thank you, thank you. Do we get participation certificate? Yes, of course. Link is already shared. You can apply. Yeah. There were a few questions, ma'am. You can
Yeah.
take up those
So
questions.
Meena ma'am is actually asking, can you prepare a lesson plan for LKG, for junior KG is what she's asking for.
So, for teachers, if you are doing teaching, lesson plan is mandatory for every class, including pre-KG, because textbook is for students, not for teachers. Teachers supposed to carry the lesson plan to the classroom. Nowadays, teachers carrying the textbook to the classroom and explaining word by word. It's no, because a textbook is mapped for students only, not for teachers. So you are supposed to carry, every teacher is supposed to carry lesson plan book and TLM to the classroom, not textbook. Textbook is not considered as the TLM.
Yeah.
So every class lesson plan is needed, ma'am, because it's a teaching strategies. We are mapping the teaching strategy. We are mapping the assessment questions, the procedures. That we are mapping the concept. So the lesson plan or teaching plan is needed for every class.
Especially this Panchapadi, that being the teaching process or the pedagogical technique, it can be used for every type of teaching, whether it is pre-KG teaching or KG teaching or remedial teaching or teaching for the, personalized learning. So it's very well understood that this is a process which every teacher can use in order to gain the maximum output from the students, outcome from the students.
Yeah,
Well,
correct. I think it is a structured, or we call it as 5 step, step by step, how to go about
Like
our lesson is
correct.
what actually it talks about. And one of our audience is saying that they would want to have follow-up sessions for this Panchapadi lesson plan.
We need
yes,
offline classes, to sit and prepare and you get
together,
participation, sir.
together.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have
Discussion, more discussion is needed.
correct.
correct. And there's Bindu ma'am asking, she wants to know what do you mean by owning the content. And she wants
But
a little bit of elaboration of on that. Owning the content is what I think in one of the slides we had. So she wants
okay.
to know about it.
Ma'am, it's nothing else. Bindu ma'am, it means connecting to the real life situations. Simply, if you learn maths and you are not able to purchase, the student is not able to purchase or buy the things from a shop, doesn't mean that. Owning the conduct, the practice connecting to the real life situation, experiencing.
I think she got the answer. She was thanking you for that, sir. Yeah. So do we have more questions from the audience? If so, please let us know. They wanted to know how to include ICT tools, and even for Hindi language, how they have to go about Panchapadi. I think most of the questions you've already answered, and this just tells about the 5 step process, how it has to be done.
Irrespective of language, any language.
Irrespective. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. There is another question from Ilakia. How can we ensure that the values nurtured through the Panchapati method are not only understood by the students during the lesson, but are actually translated into long-term behavioral change in their real lives?
Our alumni, our former students.
Our
That is,
products.
yeah, our products.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, they are only giving the answers or ideas, like life skills could be added to it.
I can explain that question. It's a good question. Because NEP and NCF aims that more learned citizens not the more learned individuals, the citizens. Because how can identify a nation or society is good or bad? You look into the rules or the law implemented in the particular society. A simple example, uh, especially in our CBSE school, when you see the some signboards speak English only, it means that that particular school does not have a communicative English campus or English speaking campus. That's why that particular rule is put in the everyone speak only in English. Likewise, for wearing helmet, otherwise fine. What the rule means that that society is not civilized. The citizens are not aware of the importance of wearing helmet. That's why that rule. So NEP and NCF always aims at that, preparing a good citizens.
There is
The
contextualization, sir.
yes.
Contextualization. All right. Any further questions? They can raise their hands. Otherwise, we can wind up. It's almost time.
I don't think, sir. I think we have like sir has answered most of the questions, and I think all of the questions for that matter. Any more audience?
Hope
Salam, sir.
Panchapadi is very clear to everybody. That's why there is no question. So because we have reinforced it. We
Yes.
have mapped it. We have shown how Panchapadi is working with the the format we are using. We show them how it is being mapped and how what is the first one. Aditi means brainstorming, right? Similarly,
Connecting to the previous
connecting.
knowledge. That is
Yes,
the
correct,
simple.
correct. So right, thank you so much, and Shubham ma'am, you can wind up. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. I would like to extend a heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to Ranjit sir for his enlightening and insightful session. And I'm confident we are now equipped better for in our classrooms, making them more engaging and fruitful and leave a lasting impact on our approaches and enable us to foster more purposeful learning environment. So your guidance has empowered us with strategies that are both actionable and effective. Thank you for sharing your wisdom so generously. Now, just to remind the participants, before we conclude, a gentle reminder to fill the details for your certificates, and the link has been posted in the chat box. As we draw this enriching session to a close, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Abdul Salam sir and Biju Pillai sir for their visionary leadership and continued inspiration. And once again, thank you, Ranjit sir, for the session filled with clarity, depth, and practical wisdom. And to each one of you, our enthusiastic and curious participants, thank you for your active engagement and dedication to growth. Your presence fuels a purpose, and we look forward to welcoming you again at our next event with yet another accomplished expert. Let us continue to walk with extra mile to nurture not just academics, but the whole child, because their future deserves nothing less. Thank you once again. Stay inspired, stay impactful. Thank you, sir. Over to you, Salam, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Shubham ma'am. Wonderfully moderated, and equally, wonderful was the presentation by Mr. Ranjit Rajan. Being, the topic being very much new to the participants, there may be, hues and cries from different corners. That's why we were exploring the different possibilities of the confusions, and we were trying to clear all the doubts with regard to Panchapadi. And well, yeah, I hope it is clear with everybody. Thank you, Mr. Ranjit, and thank you, Shubham ma'am. Thank you, Biju sir. Thank you,
My
everybody, for
pleasure, sir.
joining. Yeah, let's continue, exploring such type of, uh, techniques in teaching learning process, so that we will be well equipped to, give a better presentation to the students for a better output. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Viju sir, thank you. Yeah, sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
Thank you
sir.
all. Thank you all. Thank you.